Hello, it's lovely to be here again. I hope you'll find some moments of peace and happiness as we paint together today. I thought we could paint these thistles today because they are the national flower of Scotland, where I was born. They also symbolize the strength and ability to persevere through difficult times. I'm going to mix together some values for each color that I think I could see in my painting. So I'll start with some white and add a little bit of purple in to give me a very light purple. Then I'll add some more purple to that mix to make a mid-tone purple. I'll do the same with the green. Just take a little bit of green, a little bit of white to get a nice light green. Then I'll add some more green to that mix to make a middle tone green. And I'm going to make some darker values, and I'll use a tiny bit of black. Be careful with the black, it's quite strong. To make a dark green, and then to make a little bit lighter, I'll add some more green in there. That should give me enough values to start with. Then for the background, I'll mix together some white and some black, and that will give me a nice mid-tone grey. I'm going to start sketching with some diluted ivory black on our toned paper. And I've started with a nice simple U shape followed by a sort of triangle with rounded corners. I'm going to add the background in first today because we want to work into a wet background to make the flowers appear softer. So we'll take some of that grey mix that we made at the beginning of the video, and then at the bottom we'll add in some of the dark green just to make it a variation in that area. And we'll just take a nice clean dry brush now and just smooth out the background so that it recedes off into the distance. This will also make our background look nice and misty, just like the Highlands of Scotland. We're going to start blocking in now, and we'll take our mid-tone green for the base of the thistle, and then we'll take our mid-tone purple for the flower head. We're going to make our thistles look more 3D now by adding some form. So we'll put a dark shadow on the left-hand side of each thistle at the bottom, and that dark shadow is just our green mixed with a tiny touch of black. And I'm using quite sharp and short brush strokes here, and I'm actually going outside the lines a little bit because thistles are quite spiky. Now we're going to add a little bit of our darker purple mix to the bottom of the florets, and then we'll take a clean dry brush and soften them out. The top of the thistle's quite fluffy. We're going to add our lightest purple mix to the very top of the florets, and then we'll add our very lightest green mix to the right hand side of the bottom of the thistles. And while we're doing that, I'd like to ask you a big favor. If you're enjoying this video, please could you give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to take some of our dark green now and add in some foliage. The foliage on thistles is very sharp and spiky, so think of lots of lines going off in all different directions. They don't have to be neat, they can be quite messy. Now we'll take our darkest dark green and we'll add a few jagged lines here and there on the left hand side of the thistle at the bottom, and a couple of little dabs on the right hand side just for definition. And then at the very bottom of the florets where the flower's top meets the bottom. Now at this point we can have some fun with a skewer or a sharp stick, maybe a toothpick or even the end of your paintbrush, and just scratch a few lines here and there in the bottom of the flower and maybe around the stems, wherever you think there might be some spikes. Then we can use our soft clean brush and just soften those little lines out. We're going to take some of our titanium white now and add in a few highlights on the right hand side of each thistle. Now to finish it off, I might just add some more dark green leaves and things in the front and some little blobs of purple softly in the background, just to give the impression that there are more plants out there. And then I might go back in with that sharp stick again and just put a few more prickles on the stems and around the flowers. Thank you so much for watching and for following along. I hope you enjoyed painting these thistles just as much as I did. All that's left to say now is tatty bye for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Ooh, quickly before I go, a huge shout out to Brian for helping me with the audio on this channel. Brian has a channel of his own, the details are in the description box, and he very kindly gave me some pointers to improve my videos. Why don't you pop on over and watch some of Brian's amazing videos too?